and welcome to Two Worlds Better. And even though it's cold, we've got some good memories. They go back to the summer, or not so summery, to Alton Park and the Great Northern Bike Run.
And now for something slightly different to your everyday wheelies and burnouts. This is trials riding, something you don't see too often these days, and this is one of the best at it, Jason Finn. Well, that's trials display riding, just about as good as you're going to get. This is the man, Jason Finn. Jason, you can't do that on a bike. How'd you jump over people? I mean, you didn't have a ramp or anything.
No, it's just compressing the suspension and getting the timing right with dropping the clutch.
Yeah.
It's just finding the right technique, really.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, but where'd you go to practice driving up the side? I saw that transit van with the ramp up, and I thought, oh, he's going to ride up the ramp and jump off the roof. But you rode up the other side of the transit. How'd you practice that?
Well, you start off with small steps, you work your way up. It's got a kicker in front of that one. The van we normally use is quite a bit higher than that. It's just because the wet and you hit the side, it's just spinning on the side, so the wetness just makes it difficult. But you just work your way up.
It was a bit tricky today because it is damp, very damp.
That's it, the crowd. I'm trying to tell the crowd that I'm not riding very well because of the weather, and it's hard to put across that you're struggling because of the weather. You can make it look a lot better if you...
It certainly didn't look like you were struggling to me.
Yeah, I was.
No, I don't think so. Now the bike itself, I looked at your bike and I thought, hey, it's got no seat. Now I know why, because you're very rarely on the seat.
That's right, you're standing up on the bike all the time. The idea, over the years, they've made the seat height lower. The mud guard's getting higher because you're getting more travel, where the sections are getting more severe. So they've come on a long way, hydraulic clutch and water-cooled engines.
Right.
So.
Smashing, absolutely brilliant. There you go, Jason Finn. That's as good as you're going to get.
I have with me John Timpson of Timpson, the key cutting people, perhaps better known for shoe repairs, to be honest, but they're starting this venture in key cutting, and they're the main sponsors for the Great Northern Bike Run. Tell me, John, why did you sponsor the Great Northern Bike Run?
Lots of reasons. I mean, the most important thing, I mean, it's all about raising money for children, and that's something my wife and I have been very interested in. We've got a lot of children of our own, we're foster parents, and we also, second reason, we live just down the road from here. I mean, we're about 2 miles from Alton Park.
Very much a local event for you then?
Very much so, and hence we met up with Heidi, who runs the event, and she said she got a problem in actually how she needed a main sponsor for this event, and when I realised it was about motorbikes, and we cut motorbike keys, and bikers have got a problem cutting keys. That Heidi told me that as well. It all seemed to fit together.
And are you interested in bikes yourself?
Personally, no, but my wife is, and I think she's going to be out there on the track this afternoon on the front bike in the cavalcade. So, and last year she went on the Great Northern Run as well. She went into Granada Studios, in fact.
Can we tempt you to go ride around the track then?
Oh, I could always try me. I haven't been booked, but I'm actually this afternoon in charge of our 8-year-old child while Alex goes on the bike run.
OK, we'll excuse you for that then. Thanks very much, John.
Pleasure.
Well, this week we're at Tommy Robb Motorcycles again in Warrington. Now, one of the P words in the motorcycle world is power. Now, what about practicality and portability. Well, just look at this thing. This is absolutely gorgeous. Totally different concept in motorcycling altogether from your standard layout of a normal motorcycle, but this is a Piaggio Sfera 125cc scooter. Is it a scooter, Tommy?
You can term it a scooter, yes. It does everything a motorcycle will do, but from the point of view of comfort, it's a scooter.
Right, or a funky moped, really.
Yep.
It looks like that, doesn't it? It's quite trendy, actually. Now, this is a 4-stroke engine. That's different, isn't it?
The majority of your scooters, as we have here behind us, are mostly all 2-strokes.
Right.
But this is 4-stroke overhead cam. It's a new model in the Piaggio range. Very, very economical. And it comes through complete with this very attractive top box.
Yeah, just look at that. It's very smart. You can certainly get your bits and bobs in there as you nip down to the shops and back.
You can actually, if you want, put your helmet in there, but you've no need to do that because here, under the seat, you've actually got space for your helmet, which is already in there.
Exactly, yeah. And I suppose if you were to get caught short and decided to go long distance touring on one of these things, well, it's all there for you underneath, really, I suppose. This is it's a liquid cool, this, which amazed me.
Yes, it's a mixture of water, antifreeze, and the current coolant that you use today.
So under there somewhere, there's a radiator.
Oh yes, you've got
and
a
an
radiator
engine
built in.
and a huge compartment for a helmet.
And here you actually have the cooling position for where you put your coolant or your water, antifreeze, in at the top of the panel itself, which is very, very easy to get to.
Right.
So we take that off, and you're ready for filling.
Smashing. And the actual dashboard and the features of this, it's not much unlike some of the cars that I've had actually in the past. I mean, It's got everything that you've got on a car, including automatic choke.
You've got an automatic choke with it. You don't have to worry about the choke in the mornings. It starts automatically. You've got a fuel gauge, you've got your indicator lights, you've got your neutral light. Well, you don't have neutral, sorry, on these. You've got automatic transmission on these, as the ladies love to call them, rev and rip. You just twist and go.
Rev and go,
But you can't come out and start these without pulling in the left lever, which is actually your back brake. The front lever is your front brake. But the bike won't start until you pull that lever in, so you're stopping the chances of the bike jumping away on you from the start.
Right, I see. And it's electric start as well, so there's no leaping up and down on a kickstart.
Wonderful, the ladies love them, but we sell an awful lot right across the range to a lot of men who want the comfort for the winter, because by the time you put a windscreen on it, you've got total protection.
Yeah, it's great, it really is. Something quite trendy, actually. Well, let's go and see what it's like. I've got no leathers on today, no fancy crash helmets and no fancy gadgets on me at all today, because today we're going shopping. Now then, what was it? 2 tins of peas, 1 tin of carrots and a bag of spud. Call at the newsagents, mustn't forget this week's motorcycle news. Oh yes, you want to know about the Piaggio, don't you? Well, once you get used to not having anything to do with your feet, it really is a pleasure to ride. Nippy enough, extremely manoeuvrable, and a really user-friendly type of bike. And you don't even need a full licence to ride one. Or was it 2 tins of peas? 1 tin of carrots? Oh, well, that was a tough ride. Heavy traffic, and it's hard work riding one of these things through town. No, it's not really. It's actually a piece of cake. It's great fun. Automatic gears and enough power to keep up with just about anything in the city centre. Really is good fun. Just about every gadget and every luxury that you could possibly need from a motorcycle. It'll do 70 miles an hour, and that's really all you're allowed to do legally. It'll actually return over 100 miles to the gallon. That's possible to get well over 100 miles to the gallon, so that'll save you a few bob. And at a price of just under 2,400 quid, it really does do a great job. That's the Piaggio 125 Sfera 4-stroke scooter. Well, you can join me next week on Men and Motors, and if what I'm riding is half as much fun as this, then it'll be great, and I'll see you then.
In case you've got any doubts, you're watching Two Wheels Better, but I'm sure you don't need reminding of that. But after the break, we'll be off to meet Wayne again, and he's there in his den.
Hello folks, this week I'm going to give you some ideas of what just maybe you could drop some hints and get a few of these little things for Christmas, stocking fillers, you know, or maybe buy your friend some. First thing, cleaning your visor. This is very in at the moment, the Wee Willie. It's not quite what you think it is. Cleaner, Mr. Muscle or some general window cleaner, quick squirt on your visor, quick wipe, draw the squeegee across the top. Beautiful. And then maybe just give it a quick polish. All that does is get rid of the gunge or whatever, the flies in the summer, the gunge in the winter, because after all, we've got no windscreen wipers on these visors like you have on the car windscreen, so you do it manually at the end of your journey before you set off on the next bit. That's probably about, I don't know, about £7, and your cleaner inside, a couple of quid. Another little trick with this stuff called Rain-X. These are about £6 for a bottle. You wipe it on. You should let it dry for a little while, but we'll cheat and give it a quick polish. And hopefully, just an example, watch the quick squirt like that. See how it just rolls off? Well, if the wind was coming, it'd blow it to one side. Perfect. This helmet is just a simple visor, shut. I'm going to put my head in here and do a bit of heavy breathing, which Paul does part-time over the telephone. Well, I can't see you from inside, I don't know if you could see me. This one's got an item on the inside like double glazing. It's called Fog City Fog Shield. I'm going to put this on and do my heavy breathing act. No matter how hard I try, it won't mist up. They're brilliant. Messes your hair up a bit, putting these helmets on. That won't mist up. You can leave your visor down even when you're sat at the traffic lights. You get a little bit of condensation at the bottom, but other than that, clear vision all throughout winter. Then come spring, on this one, we've got a tinted version that gives the impression of a dark black visor, but it's a Fog City Fog Shield tint version, ideal for when the sun is quite low and shining in your eyes, and it won't mist up. And in my opinion, this is a major contribution to road safety. 15 quid, get your mum to buy one for Christmas. Sanitizer, so you can clean the lining of your helmet out. A visor and general polish. A cloth and a bit of anti-mist spray for the inside. So if any of my friends are watching, I don't want one of these for Christmas, or any of these, because I've got these in the shop. I want a biker babe from hell.
So what exactly have you done to it?
Well, it's got a welded and pinned crankshaft, 1260 big bore kit. You'll see a turbocharger down here, a short pipe. I'm around this side. This is the other side of the bike.
You guys are going to go around that way. That's it.
We've got a nitrous oxide bottle. It's fitted with an air shifter, so when you're drag racing it, you can change gear a lot quicker than you could normally.
All totally legal.
Oh yes, totally. Even taxed.
Even what?
Taxed.
Can't forget that. Apart from the race circuit and anywhere else where you're allowed to go hooning around at what speed you will, do you not find it frustrating on the roads that you can't go great speeds?
You certainly do. Yeah, 70 miles an hour is a little slow for modern motorcycles.
So you're going to make me believe and everyone else believe that you stick to 70 mile an hour?
Certainly.
Ah, get out of here. Tiv, how long have you been into bikes? Is it something you've always done since childhood?
Yes. Yeah, it's a long, long time.
Start off with your grifter.
Well, something similar, yes. Yeah. I won't admit what my first bike was, but
Go on, admit what your first bike was.
well, the first bike was a C50, and it's come a long way from there.
I bet you've seen a few. It's your lucky mascot. Yeah. This is Steve's bike. It's a rat bike, and I bet he's seen some lovely flies.
Actually, it's not a rat bike. It's a street fighter.
It's a street fighter. It's the same thing.
Not really. No, not really. Because this bike will perform. It's an FJ 1200 engine.
Undistinguishable at the moment.
Yeah, it's an FJ 1200 engine which makes 125 horsepower. The bike only weighs 480 pounds, so it's very light. The frame is a heavily modified GS 1000 frame, which has been monoshocked, and it has Kawasaki suspension front and rear. It has a Honda CB 1000 petrol tank, which has been modified, and a Suzuki GSXR 750 arse end on it.
Arse end, I love it. It's
at the moment, it's I'm trying to hone the mechanical side of it to get everything so it's running right and handling properly.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And once I've got that side of it right, I will then try and make it look pretty. But it costs money to make a bike look pretty.
I know, but I actually like this, and I'm sure a lot of people, you know, will agree with that. It's
got an aggressive image.
Yeah, that's what I like. But in between the Street Fighter is me, of course, and on either side there's two what I call pretty bikes. Who's coming on this today?
Oh, this belongs to my friend Mick. It used to be my bike, and I did a few modifications to it before I sold it to him. And he has carried on the theme, and he has done a hell of a lot of work to it. And in fact, he actually made this frame himself. He just went out and bought a load of steel tube, bent it up himself. And
why?
Because he wanted to get rid of the fairing. Because for a Street Fighter, a fairing is taboo. You just can't have a fairing on a Street Fighter. And the frame that Yamaha provide for the FJ 1200 is ugly when you remove the fairing. It's awful. So the only way to remove the fairing and make it look successful was to make his own frame. And he went about it, and he's done a superb job. I'm sure you agree.
I do agree. Did you make anything on it?
Pardon?
Did you make anything on it?
What do you mean, money-wise? No, probably not.
So that's not what you do it for, though, is it?
No, you don't. Whenever you come to sell a bike like this, you always make a loss, because you're doing it for the love of motorcycling. You can spend thousands on a bike and you never get the money back, and you move on to other things. In the end, you get bored with it. You reach a stage where you can't do any more to it, and you just sell it and get another bike, and you make a loss, and that's the way it goes.
Sounds like women in your life as well, huh?
Possibly, yeah.
We're causing problems here again at the Lord Derby and Odeum. We've just been invited to a classic burnout, which is like where everyone's going right now, so come with me. The thing is like the police are just down here. I don't know how they tolerate this. But you and me, responsible again. Brian? Spokesperson. Is this like normal? Is this what everyone goes and does? As soon as they get word of a burnout, they go and all stand down the bottom of the street and watch?
He's going down to have a good look, see how much smoke he can make and see how much of the tyre he can waste away.
Yeah, I know. I think we're going to be billed for a tyre at the end of this. Burn that rubber! Wrist smack there, I think. That was your classic burnout, though. Not the sort of thing to do just yet. Wait till the evening warms up a bit. As we said, we've just got all these guys into trouble. That's you and me.
Just starting out, we visited Tony Flannery's bike school to find out what really happens in basic training.
Well, what happens is the trainees come and then we introduce them to a theory test. And once we've introduced the theory test, we ask them for their licences and ask them which one of the familiarisations with the motorcycles, who's the experienced ones and who's not the experienced. Then we'll splinter them off into each department and learn them from the novice riders to the experienced ones.
Yeah, my name's Rachel, and it's my first time on a motorbike today, and it was absolutely brilliant.
So why did you want to ride a bike in the first place?
Well, basically something I've always fancied doing, and Tony's school came highly recommended, so here I am today.
My name's Graham Goodman.
And is this your first time today?
It is.
So why did you want to ride a bike?
It's something I've wanted to do since I was about 17, and I always had scooters when I was younger. Never took my test, sort of graduated into a car and thought, well, bugger this. Top of that, I always had problems with my parents. They never wanted me to have a motorbike. So I'm here now, I'm 47.
My name's Alan Eccleston. I've popped down here today because I've been threatening to learn to ride a bike for 2 or 3 years now. And Tony's going to put me through my paces.
So what have you learnt so far today?
Well, so far we've lifted the bike off the stand and put it onto the stand. And we've gone through the basic starting up the bike and the gear changes, and actually mounting the bike, which there's more to that than I first thought. You've got to be very aware of the other road users before you even start to mount the bike, really.
My name's Lisa and I want to ride a bike because, well, I've always fancied it since I was about 14, and I thought once I'm old enough and I've got enough money, I'll buy a motorbike and get out on the road. So that's it, really.
When you see bikes going past you, especially in the traffic jam, are you really jealous of those sort of people?
Well, I don't drive, so...
Right, so that's interesting. So really, you're learning the freedom of the road from square one, really.
Yeah. Well, I can't afford to get a car and stuff because my job's not that good. So, but motorbike's affordable, and like I said, I've always fancied it, so I thought I'd go for it.
Right, so what I want to do now is a low-speed riding exercise. We're going to do the same figure of 8 we did before wheeling the machine, but this time I want you to ride it round. Okay? Things to remember on this exercise is you're going to control the machine with clutch control and your rear brake only. On a motorcycle, anything below walking pace, you need to use your rear brake only. Okay? Using your front brake, it affects your steering. So what I want to do on this, control the machine with your rear brake and your clutch. Okay? The same figure of 8 as we did before wheeling the machine. Okay, Alan, you want to start as soon as you're kitted up and ready to go? Just make sure the kick starts returned to the side of the machine. That's it. Okay. Left hand corner first, back through the middle, then a right hand turn this way. Okay, controlling the machine with your clutch and your rear brake. That's good. Cover your rear brake when you set off. Make the circle smaller, Alan. Make the circle smaller. That's it.
That was the worst 50p I've ever seen in my life, that wasn't a figure of 8. That was Spaghetti Junction.
Well, that's all for this week, but there'll be more of the good things on biking next week, so be with us then. Goodbye.